Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Mark, this is Spiguyver Backpacking, and today we are continuing our quest for the best coffee out on the trail. Today we're using a piece of gear that I have used in the past. I believe it was on one that was kind of named something odd, like Miller Lite in a pine tree or something like that. It was one where Beekeeper and I were down in Louisiana and we did a trail and we stopped. We were using the wood stove and we brewed up a cup of coffee using this. And it is the GSI Ultralight Java Drip. This thing is super lightweight, super compact, packs down to nothing, has these flexible little arms that are dang near impossible to break, and a filter that doesn't require any paper filter additive. So why don't we talk about this one and see what kind of coffee it makes. Let's go. All right, so we have the GSI Ultralight Java Drip. Now this is a cool piece of gear, super lightweight, weighs in at 10 grams, which is 0.35 ounce, so well under half an ounce, almost nothing, don't even notice it's with you, and can produce a true pour over drip type coffee. Cool thing about it is you don't need any paper filters. Unlike some of the others, like the VX60 and some of the other GSI pour overs and some of the other pour overs that are out there, you have to bring paper filters. This one you don't. Now, some people have said they use paper filters with this, which slows down the drip process. It puts the grinds in contact with the water for a little bit longer and produces a better, more extracted cup of coffee. Now, you can tell whether or not a cup of coffee has extracted enough. If it's bitter, it has extracted too much, and if it's sour, it hasn't extracted enough. So, one of the ways you can control that is with adding a paper filter. The other way is by adjusting your grind size. And so what I've done is I found this grind size right here to be about the perfect size. It is just a little bit smaller. Now, I am using a hand ceramic burr grinder, and I'll say it doesn't do a perfect job of consistency. There are some bigger grind pieces in there and some smaller ones, but I would say overall it is probably about the size of table salt, if not just slightly larger. We're doing 16 grams. The coffee that I'm using today, I just ground up this morning. It is from Legacy Farms down in Honduras. Really cool farm. If you guys are looking for any coffee, any ethically grown, responsible coffee, check them out. Might be something you wanna get a chance to try out. Good stuff. But 16 grams of coffee to 8 ounces of water is about the perfect ratio. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get 8 ounces of water into my Tokes cup. Got the graduated markings on there, get it up to 8. Put it on. I've got the Alicamp Kinetic Ultra Titanium that Beekeeper sent me to try out. So I've got that on a big jet boil canister just so that I don't run out. And I've got my GSI mug. So, cool thing. These little arms clip right onto any mug, but since these are both GSI products, it fits on there perfectly. And so now I take the coffee that I've got, open it up, and I just pour it right in there, okay? Get it all in there. So there you go. You can see how much it's filled up to about here. And that's all the coffee that you need. Now that coffee is gonna grow a little bit. As you pour the hot water on there, it's gonna do what's called blooming, which is where it releases some of the carbon dioxide that's in the beans and it expands. That's all part of the process and something that you want to have happen. If you don't have fresh beans, you're not gonna get nearly the bloom that you should get. So let's get the coffee water going and we'll come back and get this thing done. And there you go. That is how you brew a cup of coffee. So what I'll do is once it has stopped, and you can see it is just barely dripping, I will give it a little bit of a squeeze just to kind of squeeze what's left out of there. It's hot. Don't worry, it's hot. So the way I do it is I bring my water to a boil, I take it off of the stove, and I let it sit for about between 15 and 30 seconds, depending on how warm it is outside, just to let it come down. The optimal brewing temperature is, you're going to get ranges from different people based on different methods, but somewhere between 190 and 205 degrees is really the optimal brewing. Now, once you're done, you can set your cup back down because it's too hot to drink right this second anyway. Pull off the filter, and I'm just going to put it back into the baggie that I brought the coffee in. Just give it a little shake like this, and when it comes out, it's not too dirty. I mean, you can see it right here. It's not too bad. There's a little bit on there, but really a little rinse with your water, and you're all good to go. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna use a little bit of water right here, rinse it off, and show you guys how easily it cleans up. So I barely used any of that water right there. You can see now it is pretty clean. Clean enough. I'm out backpacking. I'm not worried about it. It is good enough for me. It will go right back into my pot and be ready to go for the next day. Let me pull this out of here so you can see the amount of coffee that it brewed up. So that is sitting just below 8 ounces. Now, it was 8 ounces that went in. Now, of course, some of those grounds are going to absorb some of that water and you're not getting it back. But that's what you get, is about an 8-ounce cup of coffee. Now, it's going to be a typical pour-over type coffee. Smooth, clear flavors. It's all about having the right beans and the right grind. Now, finding that grind for your typical pour-over. Hey, if you're using a filter, a little bit coarser grind is probably going to be better if you're using that paper with it, because it slows it down and it keeps the water immersed in there a little bit longer, so that extraction is going to be a little bit more thorough because the water sits there longer. Now, if you're doing it just the way that I did it, you probably want a little bit finer grind. Not super fine, definitely not espresso grind, but fine enough that it will extract all of that flavor and give you this cup of coffee. 10 grams for a great cup of coffee. You know, that's hard to beat if you are into the ultralight world. All right, guys, I'm going to finish this up. Enjoy the sun as it peeks out. Enjoy the crow back here making noise. And I will see you guys down the trail.